Hi friends, it's Lauren Taylor. Thanks for joining me in my craft room today. It's an exciting day because a new release from Trinity Stamps is here and there are so many amazing new products. But for today's project, I'm going to use the brand new Every Pizza Me stamp and coordinating die. I absolutely love that I can stamp or die cut my own pizza. And I also love this new shaped card called the Circle Shaped Card Die Set, which is perfect for making donuts and of course pizza. So I'm going to use these two new products together. I've done my die cutting as you can see, and I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending on my card base and my cheesy layer, so that way there is a little bit of dimension and texture. I'm not going to add anything extra to the die cuts of my different pizza toppings. They're so small, and I wanted this to really focus on the cheese and the sentiment that you'll see later on. So for the card base, which is cut out of some vanilla malt cardstock, I'm using antique linen and my brown blending brush to add just a little bit of toasty shadowness to the edge of my pizza crust. And I'm just going to do the front of my card. So I used a little bit of mint tape from scrapbook.com to mask off where I didn't need the ink to go. For my cheesy layer, this is cut out of some sticky note cardstock. I'm using scattered straw and my yellow blending brush to, again, add a little bit of toastiness to my cheese. When I finish distressing the edges of my cardstock, I just use a microfiber cloth to clean up my glass board. Now that my two layers are ready, I'll go ahead and peel off that masking tape and take a look at how my cheesiness looks on my pizza crust. I'm loving this so far. I'm going to stamp out my sentiment, so I cut another piece of yellow cardstock that will fit just the die size, and I'll grab my sentiment from the Every Pizza Me stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it with my Misty. I want my sentiment to look cheesy, so that's why I'm also doing it on yellow cardstock. And since I didn't do a layer of pizza sauce, I decided to stamp my sentiment in red so it gives the effect of pizza or marinara or tomato sauce on my pizza. So I'm going to pick the stamp up with my Misty Door, and to stamp, I'm going to grab Barn Door Distress ink. I do stamp it, I believe, 3 times in total. Distress ink is not always the easiest to stamp with, so it's perfect for using your Misty to make sure you get a nice clean image, and if you need to stamp more than once. Once my stamping is done, I'll go ahead and clean off my stamp and get it put away, and then I'll grab the coordinating die from the stamp set to cut out the sentiment. I absolutely love Trinity Stamps sentiment dies. I love that it does a bubble cut around most of the sentiments, if not all, from all of the stamp sets. So I die cut it out using my die cut machine off camera, and I'm going to go ahead and grab that blending brush and just add a little bit of that color around the edge of my sentiment. I didn't add any additional ink. I'm just using whatever was left over on my little blending buddy brush. So now that all my pieces are ready to go, my card base, my cheese, my sentiment, and I also die cut out all of my different pizza toppings, it's time to start assembling my pizza card. So while I'm gluing the cheese to my crust, I just want to talk about today's video and hop. So there are lots of new products that are fun and especially yummy, like this pizza set. And we're going to be hopping here on YouTube as well as on Instagram for chances to win gift cards to the Trinity Stamp stores. You have until January 11th, and all of the winners will be announced on Trinity Stamps Instagram and Facebook page just after the 11th. The release is now live, so you can use the links down below in my description to start shopping, and you'll find all of the details of the hop down below in the description as well. Jumping back to my card, now that my cheese is attached to my pizza crust card base, I'm adding my little pepperoni slices around the edge of the card. I'm not going to focus any of my pizza toppings in the center because it's going to be covered with my sentiment, so all of my toppings will be pretty close to the edge of the cheese with a little bit extra on top and bottom depending on where my sentiment is going to sit. So you can see I glue down a few different pieces of my toppings and then bring my sentiment back over so I can make sure I am gluing my little pizza toppings to visible parts of the card. So once I get all my pepperonis onto my card, I'll move over to mushrooms. This card is definitely inspired by my husband who loves mushrooms on his pizza, even though I think they're gross. Let me know down below if you're a mushroom lover. I actually really love pepperoni pineapple pizza, which I know also lots of people think is gross. So you'll have to let me know your favorite pizza toppings down below in the comments. So after the pepperoni, I'm adding in my mushrooms. I absolutely love the bell pepper dies. I just think they look so stinking cute. They're so tiny. It's so cute. And after I get my green bell peppers on, I'm going to add my purple onion rings. Again, just using some tweezers, my liquid adhesive, and my sentiment to guide where I'm going to place these different toppings. Finally, I'm actually going to grab my pickup stick this time instead of tweezers to add my olives. They're so stinking tiny, but so adorable, and they absolutely have to go on this pizza. So I'm picking up one olive at a time with my pickup stick and very gently adding adhesive to the olive and then placing it onto the card. Once I get all of the olive pieces onto my card, that's going to finish off the toppings. So now we can adhere the sentiment to the center of our pizza card. I want to pop it up, so I'm going to grab some foam adhesive and I'm going to trim it to fit behind my sentiment. Once my sentiment is fully covered with my foam adhesive, I'll peel off all of the release paper and then I will add it to the center of my pizza card. As you can see, there's lots of room for even more topping, so depending on how you create your own pizza, you can die cut even more pizza toppings to add to your card. I'm using my grid on my glass board to get my sentiment as centered and straight as possible, and here is a final look at my pizza-shaped card. I hope you're as excited as I am for all of the new release products from Trinity Stamps, and make sure you hop along so you can see all the different inspiration from everyone on the design team. Don't forget, we're over on Instagram as well as on YouTube, and I hope you have fun shopping the new release. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll click like, and if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. As always, you can find everything I use down below in the description box. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye!